Hi everyone, NHLers are still deciding whether or not to accept the latest offer by the league. Yesterday, the NHL came up with a new deal that proposed a 50-50 split of revenue and a November 2nd start to the season. That's a 7% cut from what the players are already getting. The two sides met in Toronto yesterday. The players held a conference call to discuss the offer, but they're still not saying much. Some members of the Flames say the offer is a move in the right direction at least, and they're anxious to get back onto the ice. Now, the National Hockey League lockout might soon come to an end, and that's good news for everyone, but it could be bad news for coaches in the Canada West. University Pronghorns have a number of players with pro aspirations who chose school while the NHL situation resolved itself. Head coach Greg Gatto says he's hopeful that he won't lose players to the American or East Coast hockey leagues once pro hockey resumes.
You hope not, but I mean, you never know. If we're struggling, then we're always going to look, I'm sure. But I mean, hopefully they're here for a year and we do quite well enough they want to come back. I mean, it's always going to be an option. We've lost guys before, Jordankos and those guys. So, I mean, it's always a possibility. But I think, obviously their school package from the Western League is a big deal to them as well. And if it's just going to be ECHL, not that it's a bad league, but it's just something that they can go down to a later time.
And the Horns are on the road this weekend, taking on UBC, looking for their first win. Probably not coincidentally, after giving up 7 goals last night, the Medicine Tigers have traded for veteran goaltender Cam Lanigan from Portland in exchange for a 7th-round draft pick. Tigers hosted Brandon last night, tied at 4 in the third, that is, 94 seconds in. Boston Lear buried the rebound to give the Tigers a 5-4 lead. And the Tigers were back for more 3.5 minutes later. Chad LaBelle got a stick on the puck on the neat pass from Lear. Watch him tap it in, 6-4. Tigers now. But it was all Brandon after that. They exploded for 3 goals in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Ryan Pollock made it 6-5 there. Then with the Wheaties buzzing in the Tiger zone, Riley Miller let a blast go that found the back of the net to tie things up at 6. Then just 22 seconds later, the Wheat Kings scored again. It's Pollock with a point shot beating Dawson McCulley to make it 7-6 there. And that was the final, a wild one in the Gas City last night. Now the Hurricanes welcome an old friend back to town tonight. The Canes will face off against former teammate Nick Buonacici as Brandon is here. The 20-year-old forward was dealt in the offseason, falling victim to the numbers game in Lethbridge with overagers. The Canes say their focus is on getting the much-needed 2 points tonight.
It's huge. It's only October, but it's important to keep pace with those top teams. And, Wednesday night, we're looking to get 2 points.
You've heard probably the same thing for the last 3 weeks. It's just us keeping it simple, being hard to play against, showing up and playing for 60 minutes of hockey rather than a period or 2 periods.
They're a tough team, and I think we just got to keep it simple. Last game I think we were just trying to do too much. It just wasn't really going our way, but against Brandon I think should just keep it simple, play our game.
Game time at the NMAX Center tonight is 7 bells. And in other Canes news, 2012 first-round Bantam draft pick Giorgio Estepan has been selected to play for Team Alberta in the upcoming Under-16 Hockey Challenge. The tournament goes November 1st to the 4th at Father David Bauer Arena in Calgary. Lance Armstrong is out as chairman of his cancer-fighting charity and out of his Nike contract as well. Armstrong announced this morning that he's stepping down as chairman of his Live Strong charity so it can focus on its mission. Minutes later, Nike announced that the company is dropping its contract with Armstrong, saying he misled Nike for a decade about doping. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency released a report last week highlighting allegations of doping by Armstrong and his teammates when he won the Tour de France 7 consecutive times from 1999 to 2005. Armstrong, of course, still denies the allegations. Jackie.
Still hasn't tested positive.
Still has not tested positive.